grand rising, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you're watching this video. Welcome to the Conscious Growing Gardener channel. So today, y'all, it's always a million and one things that you could do in the garden, right? That could be done from anything from pruning to spraying for insects, right? To transferring plants into bigger spots and areas, right? Taking care of plants that might have gotten sick, right? Watering, right? There's a number of fertilizing, the plants, taking care, make sure they have enough to eat so they can continue to grow, right? Um, like I said, defending them from different types of animals. Insects are one form of animal that you might have to get rid of. Another one is an animal that might get in your garden, right? Whether it be a groundhog or a squirrel, right? We have deer out here, right? You just name it, right? And so even sometimes, like some of the plants, the leaves die off, and you have to get out here and you have to prune off the dead leaves off the plant, right? Or sometimes even as much as getting rid of a plant, period, because it passes away, right? It dies, right? They don't all survive all the time. So a number of things that can be done in the garden every day. So there's never just everything's done, right? Especially when you got a garden in a nice size like this one. And it's not very huge, but it's big enough just to take up enough of your time. And there are enough plants going on in here that need enough attending to that you'll be all day, right? So today what we're doing is something real simple. Today we're doing the transfer of our plants. Okay, so basically what we're doing is these are going to probably die off. We're going to have to replant those. I'm not worried about it. Death is death. It happens. I got other seeds in there already, so I'm not worried about it. These were all these that I brought in. All my zucchini. I'm sorry if you guys can't see that. All of my zucchini were in the house, and we were growing them in there. The first time growing in the greenhouse and inside. You guys have been watching. You know this, and so we got to late start bringing them outside because the weather wouldn't you know agree with the plant life, and so a lot of them are dying off. But it's okay because we got more seeds. We just wanted to try it for the first time to see how it felt to grow inside the house with with grow lights, to see if we could pull it off. And of course we were able to. So now we know the trick, and now we'll pick a better time. Maybe like two weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks before it's time to bring them outside. We'll start growing in from that point. And so today we got some pepper plants, right? That's been sitting here, and they need to be um, planted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the space right here, and I have so much soil in here that I'm not going to go to try to bury these real deep. What I will do is I'll see how much soil is in here. It's not a lot for the most part. You go deeper, you see a little more. Most of this is just shallow uh, area because it's got some wood planks under here, so it's really shallow. But all usually happens is the greens. I mean, not the greens. Excuse me. The mint that's in here usually just finds a way to get all through the yard and comes through here real strong. And so it's a blank area for growing space. And peppers don't need to be really super deep. They don't have to be. You can still get peppers from them. So you just have to have really good soil. This is pretty good soil. So we're just going to take what we got, mix it in. I don't suggest to do this. Nobody does this, but I'm going to do it. I suggest take them out one at a time, but I'm just going to take the whole thing out. Oh, I should have known they were going to all fall apart. And that's cool because now I can space them out. And when I find that hole between those planks, between those wood areas, it's very easy for the plant to find its place to put its roots in. Plants tend to find a place to grow. If they really want to survive, they'll find a place to grow. Some of them are be a little tripped out about the transferring and stuff like that, and they go through shock and stuff like that. But so I came out this morning, and they were just, today was like this. Oh, he's not out here yet. And the squirrels are just all in my yard. I don't know what they were doing. One was outside the fence, like right where the camera's at, right outside the fence. I don't know. And then another one was somewhere over here, and I just came out like, and they just saw me. They just all just scattered. Of course, I fussed at the one that was by the fence because I don't know what he's doing by my fence. But that was a little bit of a disagreement between me and him. So I found a little space there. I think it's wood right there. But it's still a growth area. Peppers are still growing. So I'm just trying to find that comfortable area where I can get it and they'll stand up, hold up. Sometimes it's just so hard to get them to hold up. You transfer them, they lay back down. You put the good soil all around them and pack them in good, and they still fall over. This one's so bent. It's really giving me a hard way to go, but it's in there. Like I said, I'll get some. I'll grab a few sticks that'll help just for a little while to hold them up so they get their balance. So I got a few sticks that I keep around. The thing about growing, you can always use anything for a trellis. Like sticks are good for trellises, especially with small pepper plants. They just need something to hold on to for a while they're, especially when they're being transferred like this. Just avoid putting it through the roots. You find a place for it to hang on to. I would have even stand for his own. This is the weirdest thing. I got one more. This one's really been acting funny since I put it on here. So. Oh, the stick broke. Yeah, it's kind of frail. The stick's really frail. I like to water them in, but the sun is coming up right now as we speak. So I'll just what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little bit of rainwater. I don't have much because the birds keep. I don't have covers for it. I could put some covers on it, but I don't. The birds continue to drink it. And then with it being like 80 degrees, like 4 or 5 days in a row, a lot of times that leads to the water dehydrating. Just a little sprinkle. That one needs to be cleaned off. The dirt on that was ridiculous, so I did that on purpose. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I need to get me a camera person. It's a pepper plant that had a lot of dirt, a lot of soil on it, a lot, way too much all on the leaves and stuff, and I didn't want that to become a problem. So I actually put the rainwater on the leaves, which is not a good thing in the sun, but I wanted to clean up the soil. I didn't want to keep the soil on it too thick. It had to be too. So catch 22. Yeah, I'm still cleaning it. Still had a lot of residue on there. And I'll just let it sit there. Here's another one with a lot of soil on it. And it's my fault for the way I dumped them out. This one didn't even need a stand. It was sitting by itself. Stick, but I probably gonna need one because of what I just did. Alright, so you have to sit back and watch how they'll survive. We got a lot of plants in here that are not surviving, so what we're gonna do, we're not gonna waste no time. I got some seeds over here I'm gonna grab, and I'm gonna put them right directly in every area where those plants seem like they're not surviving and not doing well. I'm just gonna take the seeds. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I should have known. I wasn't out here yesterday, and nobody removed the seeds got wet. Nobody removed them. Nobody took the time to remove them. So I don't know what's gonna happen with them, but I'm gonna go ahead and plant them now. I'm not even gonna mess around. They wet. They soaking wet too. I'm not gonna fight with it. I'm not gonna. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find a stable place. It might have to be in here. That's good. Okay. So all of these got wet. Oh boy. So that's a mess waiting to happen. Now we got some issues with some of the insects that's been eating the plants just a little bit. You know, not like heavy, but I like to get a heavy start on them, eating my plants up. I'm gonna move a little soil around right here. Some of these have a tendency to grow stuff back. Yes, my shoes have holes, and these are my most comfortable shoes when it's not raining. I mean, when it's not messed up out here, and I don't have to wear my boots. I put on my most comfortable tennis shoes I got. These are the ones right here I'm out here in. They so old they got holes in them, but I don't care because that's what I need. I need comfortability. I'm not worried about style and profiling. Anyway, this is a real mess. It wasn't a lot of these in here anyway. I don't think so. It was only a few. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop these in the soil. Although I need more than these. That was not what I was looking forward to happening. I mean, they all got wet. This is corn. I'm gonna put some corn in here. I want to grow corn from this area. Usually I put corn on my back of my fence, but for some reason the squirrels have really been. They got into it last year. They were shucking my corn one year. Well, not last year. I didn't grow anything last year. They got into my corn. They were shucking it, eating it and stuff. And so I want to be able to better protect it. So I'm gonna put it here in my garden again. I've grown it here in the garden before, so I'll put it here again this year, and I'll have a what's the name that I'll be able to support it. I got some beams and stuff that I'll be able to support it. So we're just gonna put some corn right on in here. Give it a little few spaces apart so that I have room to grow. So funny sometimes remembering where you put stuff at when you're growing, not to overseed in different areas, right? Having a good that's why being a gardener is also a good thing to have a good memory. So in case you forget where you planted something, or you so in case of emergency to not forget where you planted something, because that usually ends up into having you know uh, multiple areas where it's just too much stuff in one area or not enough stuff in another area because you didn't realize you didn't grow anything in that area. And so we deal with that as a gardener as well, right? So we got some miracles right here that got all this got wet yesterday. I forgot they were outside, honestly, y'all, and because I wasn't outside yesterday, and so when it started raining, it never dawned on me. Oh, it's raining, and my plants and my seeds are outside. My seeds are going to get wet. I was actually more so worried about the plants that weren't being wet, and my assumption on that was correct because when I came out, some of them had been out here for days in a cup, and they had been transferred into pots where they hadn't been watered in, or they hadn't been. They were under the. They were under the what's the name? They hadn't any water at all, so they were just out here just uh, fading away pretty much. So now, I'm gonna turn the camera this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. So now I'm over here with my tomato plants, and they're not looking too good at all. Some of them are looking okay, but some of them are looking kind of bad. And so I'm going to prune some of these dead areas of the plant off. That's just another disease or another way. And when the plant gets sick, that's when insects like to attack it. You got to be very careful when plants get sick. Insects realize that they're sick, and they'll come after them, attacking the plant, and so much more killing it off even more. So basically, we're just pulling off the low dead leaves, getting rid of them. They don't really serve a lot of purpose. Okay, so one is just completely just dead. So I'm just gonna pull it out from the area. The other ones seem to be doing okay. I have some more. I have several other tomato plants that I've grown. They just haven't came. I've put them in the soil. They just haven't done their thing yet as far as germinating quite yet. And so I'm waiting for them. It's a little early, so I'm not in a rush. I got plenty growing season left, right? And over there, as you can see, all those are over there just dying. You can see what they're dying. I'm going to get some. Well, some of them are going to live, but most of them not going to die. They were mostly males anyway, so there weren't a lot of female. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace each one of those with a seed in that area. Now, some of them I've already placed with a seed in the area, so I don't want to forget which ones I did. Like I said, having a good memory is a good part of being a gardener. That way you don't forget what you did and where you did it at. Here I can see there are several animals that are pronging and eating upon my cabbage here. I don't want. These have a lot of dead leaves on it because, like I said, they're dying back. They were grown way too early inside the greenhouse, way too early. And then we tried to bring them out here, and that was tough on them to transfer and things of that nature. So, and most of them, like I said, most of these were male plants. You can't get fruit from a male plant, so this is pretty much a male plant. So we just had to hang it up here for germination, and now it's not even doing that. So it's really not any good for anything unless it's going to start giving back more. Unless it'll bounce back. Sometimes they bounce back, but when they get this bad, it's like you fighting the inedible. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like you're lucky if they bounce back. Like each one, like every leaf on this one is pretty much dead. So it's like nothing here. All you pretty much got is the stalk that's still alive, right? But I'll just put it up there anyway. This one has a few live leaves on it that's still alive. There's still a chance. But even the leaves that's coming back on it don't look like great at all. And it's probably because the leaves that are on it that's dead is sucking the plant dry, taking all the natural sugars from it. So I'm just gonna remove those and hopefully and there's a lot of these I should have been out here yesterday doing this. It was really hot and I really wasn't. I was doing something else yesterday. I had a lot of things on my list that I had to do yesterday. I just didn't get the chance to get out here. So I didn't do anything in the garden yesterday at all. Which I won't say anything. I know I watered at one point in time or something like that. So, but pruning and getting rid of some of these old dead leaves it's a very essential part of growing healthy plants. You want to have healthy plants, you have to get rid of some of this dead foliage, or just hang around and just suck off. It'll just suck off all the natural sugars and juices of the good part of the plant. Because it's like, hey, I'm trying to survive too. Even though it's dead, it'll just keep sucking and driving the plant to its end, basically. So don't be afraid to get rid of the old drying leaves that are dying off, decaying. They're doing nothing but sucking the life out of the plant. So remove them, okay? Go to the base of the plant, that particular leaf, as close as you can without hitting the main artery of the plant, and remove those dying, decaying leaves. Oh my God! Someone's just been biting this. Look at this. This is not. You can just tell they're attacking it because of the sickness. Okay, this is ridiculous. It was healthy when I put it in, but oh my goodness! I'm telling you, man, gardening is sometimes can be stressful. Some people don't have the patience. Sometimes it makes you want to give up. You name it, the insects, once they know a plant's not healthy, they go to attacking it. It's an easy target for them to eat, right? They know it's decaying. They know you're probably not gonna fight as much to keep that one survive. It's sick. It's easier to attack something that's weaker than something that's strong. And so that's the issue that we have with plant life sometimes. Consider growing, you have to consider all those things. So over here we got some eggplants that's got some bad leaves on it. In order to get the new leaves, you got to get rid of these old ones that's just sitting here sucking the life dry. I'm just gonna pull them off. I'm just gonna remove them, and I'm gonna allow the plant to start over again. This one's it's curling up already. Get rid of it. I'm being so rude, y'all. I didn't even give you guys a tour of the garden today, right? So you guys can see what's going on here. I'm really not being rude. I'm just really being uh, busy. So let's get into it. So we got some over here. We're gonna plant sometimes seeds just drop and fall in anywhere, but this is the uh, cantaloupe area. Got one cantaloupe coming up right there. I got some greens, some microgreens that's turned into mustard, and some kale in there. In there, I see you can see some pieces where, a few pieces where insects. I think that's an animal, and insects been biting on it. See that? That's ridiculous. They're just biting my lettuces and just putting big holes in it. I can see that's a big snap. That's not like, I don't think that's an animal. So I'm saying I'm going through that with these squirrels. Here's some asparagus. There's some kale in there. It's some celery in there. It's a few carrots in there just dropped in there too. Here we got some more kale, some cabbage, a few carrots I see, and some lettuce in there too as well. Here's some more. Here's some arugula. I think this is some arugula that we planted, and I see a few pieces of kale in there as well. Parasilin, and then we got that mixed variety salad. And I see some purple dwarf kale in there. We've got kale here on the side, growing on the side after come back from last year. Some more kale in here. Right, of course, this is the area where I just put the peppers in. Right, we got our peppers, different styles of peppers. Right. In fact, I got a pepper over there. I got to get that's over there. Back here, some lemon balm and some mint that seems to be really evasive. Over there are the onions. I have to always scale those back. You know what I'm saying? We also got strawberries. So I see the vine finally coming through. Right. Oh, we got some squash and zucchini over there in the air. Here we got our okra right here. Right. We dealing with some issues with some of our cucumbers and stuff like that, but we're not gonna worry about that. We got some new plants that we planted. Like I said, we had them inside the house growing. The cucumber, zucchini were in the house side. We tried to do a greenhouse effect light, grow lights that really worked really well, but unfortunately, we grew too early, and so trying to bring them outside later on, with the hot weather, right, that we weren't expecting to go from like nothing all the way to 80s, and it really kind of started giving the plants the blues. So we're just trying to adjust to that, right, as far as growing and stuff. So here we got some eggplants that you guys saw me just pruning, getting rid of some of those old leaves. Like I said, there's the okra right there growing. Right, we got some sweet potatoes in the back. Behind that, there's some potatoes and onions on there over there. Here are the squash and zucchini area right here, right. We got some radishes here, right. And of course, I just planted a few turnips, just 2 turnips and some corn back here. Now I'm going to plant some more in this area. I got some beans and stuff that I want to put out here, right? I got some flowers I'm gonna put out because I love flowers. So you gotta have flowers because you're gonna need the pollinators, right? And how do you get pollinators? By growing flowers, right? One of my favorite pollinator is the bee. Okay, it does a lot of pollinating in this backyard, so I don't have to do a lot of pollinating, which is a beautiful thing, right? Everybody need a break on something, right? So over here we got a few plants. We got some. These are what's the name? Peppers, and they gotta go in today. These are habaneros. These are hot peppers, okay? And this is a bean. You see the leaves are kind of sickly. I'm gonna get rid of those. I'm gonna plant that as well. I got the apple banana tree, right? Got some borage over here, right? Some plants that I got sick, and we just set them back here to see how they would do, if they would survive. And so this one seems like it's trying to come back. This one's still alive. This one's definitely gone. As you can see, some more borage over here. We got I forgot what this is, but it seems to be doing pretty good. Leaves a little faded a little bit, but not too bad, right? So anyway, you guys, we're the Conscious Growing Gardener channel, y'all. We speak on the P's on this channel, right? Plant life. We talk consciously about things in our from our public school system to our to the prison. We talk about politics, right? Different politicians, right? We have subjects on the preachers, pastors, priests, right? We love the P life is we even bring up because we in the politics a lot, right? We talk a lot about Vladimir Putin and and what's going on, what's supposedly going on in our country, right? Or how other countries seem to affect our country all the time, because in my opinion, right, we always in the middle of something. You know what I'm saying? You ever known somebody just to be an instigator? That's always act like they big brother and you got to save everybody, right? Which is nothing wrong with people taking up for people. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, I've always been a protector of my friends and my family, you know. But sometimes you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. You know, and sometimes, you know, when you find yourself in a position where you don't have the uh, heads up on it, right? You're not the main source or whatever. Sometimes you just got to stand back and be patient and watch, right? But when you're not telling the truth, you're not telling the truth on why you're getting involved. You understand what I'm saying? Like, some people that get involved and they know they got ulterior motives. This is why they're getting involved, you know. And so you have to look at it like that. When you look at ulterior motives on why somebody might be getting involved, right? They got more to do with what's going over there on in that situation, and they want to let on to anybody that's dealing with it, right? I remember when I was when gangs, you know, when gangs were heavy, and guys would get into fights, and they would always the before, this is before the teachers and them were like totally hip to the gang situation. They didn't understand how come one guy would get into a fight with another guy, and then all of a sudden these other guys would come, and you know, they eventually found out, you know what I'm saying, this is gang related. These guys are jumping this dude because they all in the same gang, and you know what I'm saying. And so we got a lot of that going on because these people everybody, I'm an American, or I'm a this, or I'm a Republican, or I'm a Democrat, right? And really all these people be, you know, you look at it and you can see, you know, people be on the take. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, it's too many people in this country on the take. And when I say on the take, I mean everybody. Everybody worried about their money, worried about their bag, and they do anything for a bag. And the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And everybody look around and be like, what's going on? What's wrong with that? You know? They always talking about somebody attacking their democracy. But the truth is these folks don't care nothing about no democracy. All they care about is wins and losses. And they ain't trying to take no losses. They're trying to get all wins. You know? Unfortunately, the left wing and the right wing is oftentimes the same bird. You know what I'm saying? In life, you don't get too many clean play calls. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anybody that watch sports, you don't get too many. The ref always act like he missed a call, or you know what I'm saying. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, if they in on it too. You know what I'm saying? Are they really unbiased people, or are they sitting back enjoying the game so much that they can't even call the calls right? Because they too busy enjoying the crowd screaming for the winning team or the home team. And so we got a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? Except for with our politicians, the home team is supposed to be here in America, and it never is. It seems like everything else in this country is more important, or everything outside this country is more important than what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? We got a politician right now. We got a president right now who can't pay attention to his own constituents, to his own party, to his own people in his own country, because he worried about what's going on in another country. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, being independent is the most important thing, right? You ask any woman who's been married for more than 10 or 15 years, and she'll tell you her independence is her greatest asset. Yeah, she don't mind cooking and cleaning for her husband. If she work a job, she don't mind working and taking care of the kids. But if she don't have no independence, and this man should, you know, move on or pass away or whatever, and she been depending on this guy for years and years to take care of the family, and he decides one day, I'm out of here, or life decides one day that, he's out of here, it's time for him to be, then that's leaving her with an unbalanced life, because if she haven't held down a career, or if she haven't had a decent job in years, now she's dealing with, well, how do we pay the bills and how do we do that, right? So being independent and having something of your own, means a lot to a lot of people, right? And so, you never let nobody just, shank your independence from you. Well, unfortunately, our politicians don't want America to be independent. They want us to be dependent upon other countries for everything, for certain grain, for certain food, for certain oil, for certain this, right? Where do they get off with that, right? And where do we get off allowing them to do this, right? This is what happens when you get so weak, you get so caught up in working your 9, 5, and 40, and you believe in everything that you see on this television, right? And then watch this. When you speak against it, then they want to come on and censor your channel and tell you're just dropping disinformation. I'm an American, okay? My grandmother was an American. My mother was an American, okay? My father was an American. My grandfather was an American. I'm an American, all right? And so with that being said, I have the right to speak my truth and what I and my opinion about my country. And anybody that doesn't like that, right, including the people that get voted in, that get elected in, that get selected in, that cheat to get in, right, whatever the case might be, however you got your position, right, however year you seem to get somebody to vote for you, even though you don't hardly do nothing for the American people, right? You lie to the people, you lie to these people. These people know that they don't know much about politics, so they're like, yeah, I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that and you don't be doing nothing for the country, but you get in every year somehow, right? Elected, selected, right? Or whatever trick or game you pull, you know what I'm saying, to get your position back in office again. It's like, don't you ever want to wake up one morning and be like, you know what? Today I'm actually going to do something for somebody else besides myself. Maybe not, you know. Maybe not, you know what I'm saying? You guys, appreciate you, right, for rocking with the Conscious Growing Gardener channel. Go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, right, think about it, right? It's a way to support the channel, right? As well, you guys, make sure you hit that like button, right, so that you can tell the algorithm to get around so other folks can watch the channel and help us grow. We're over 1,000 strong on Facebook, but we are new to YouTube, so we're trying to get our channel to grow and be a more productive channel on YouTube. So guys, support the channel, okay, by hitting that subscribe button, right, pressing the like button, right, and feel free to leave a comment below. We will respond. All right, much love to you all, y'all. Okay, now listen. Before I go, I know everybody got a different line of politics. Everybody doesn't have the same religion. Everybody doesn't have the same belief system. Everybody doesn't have the same political understanding, right? All my life, most of my family, not all my family, but most of my family been Democrats. So it's not like I haven't never voted Democrat or understand the democratic process of Democrats. But here's the thing: when I realized that and it's just my opinion, and I am entitled to it. When I realized that from my voting, I'm getting more rhetoric and more game ran on me by my own party than I am substance and rewarded what our people need as an American people, as citizens of this country. Then I realize, you know what I'm saying, all these folks doing is saying what they want you to, saying what they think you want them to hear, and then going back and doing the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that I trust Republicans, because I don't trust them either. I think the left wing and the right wing is the same bird. You know what I'm saying? But when you plant a seed in good soil, you expect something to come up, right? As a gardener, some people plant stuff in soil that ain't even good, and they still expect something to come up. Okay, so we got to learn. You got to know your soil. You got to know what you got to know what you're planting in. It's one thing to have a good seed. It's another thing to know what kind of soil you planting in, right? And so when you give your vote, you know, it's like you planting into a soil. You putting in a seed into the ground. You got to make sure that you put into a righteous ground, something that's going to yield you a harvest. And that means not just a party, right? Not just a party, not a specific party, right? But maybe how about maybe more of a specific person, right? Somebody that have our backs, that really care about the American people, we the people, and not just some token dude with a good look or suit on with the right looking family and all the little bells and whistles, but none of the and all of the glory of hope and what we gonna get and promises of this and that, only to continue to lie to us and give us nothing. Give us no redemption at all, right? My heart goes out to anybody that's dealing with issues of war, right? Famine in their country, right? It does, but I believe in this country, or in any country, or anywhere you go in life, the first rule of life is to take care of home first. And so I don't I don't have any. It's not that I don't have sympathy or empathy or concern or care for other countries, but you got to take care of home first. And if any true politician would know that. And if you don't have if you're not a true politician, I wouldn't expect you to understand that. You know what I'm saying? And some of these people are really just not true politicians. They're all about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and when I mean politician, I don't even mean that. I mean like a public servant. That's what you are. You serve the public. These folk think they bigger than us. They think they for real. They think they issues, their concerns. They can't even get along with themselves, with each other. They spend more time arguing than an old husband and wife. It's trifling. It's time for some of these people to go. Not just from their position, but out of politics, period, forever. It's time for a lot of them to go. They do nothing but waste our time, waste our tax dollars, right? And then when we talk about them, they want to pay somebody to censor us so we can't say what we. Are you out your fucking mind? Anybody that agrees that I don't care what kind of party you rock with, right? Anybody that agrees with that is a sick person. You are not of this country. You are a treasonous attitude ass person, and eventually, guess what? Your treason towards silencing, because trying to silence the American people is a form of treason. That's in my opinion. You can't silence the American people. You fucking out your goddamn mind. Have you really just lost your fucking head? You don't want people. You know what you want? You want a bunch of bots going along with whatever the fuck it is you say. That ain't the same thing as we the people. We have our own thoughts. We have our own emotions. We have our own opinions. And we are entitled to them. So sit your raggedy ass down, right? Because you ain't doing nothing for the people. You ain't doing nothing for the country, right? And all you doing is using the television to go on there and big tech and everything to manipulate the people and point fingers at somebody else. And for all of you who gave this last administration your vote because of your party, because of you didn't like the last administration or whatever your problem is, right? Whatever made you always vote Democrat, whatever your reasoning for doing it. That's all I gotta say to you. Well, since we at number 46, Joe, you like the prices? Buy it then. All right. I'm out, y'all. Peace.